Well, Tuesday morning, waiting on the UPS guy. Getting ready over here. We're waiting. I got something else on the floor over here. I'm going to try something before we put the motor back in. I'm going to take that block and put it in the car and then get one of the MBE heads, stick it on there and see how much kind of clearance we got. Because I was very curious to see what kind of modifications I'd have to make to get that other billet blocking heads and all that stuff on in this car. All right, waiting on UPS. Is it him? Yes, it's the Candyman. The Candyman's here. There we go. Manton push rods. Let's see what they look like. All right. There you go. You guys want it? Manton push rods. Manton rocker arms. There's all the information. They're in California. Ask for Matt or Lindsay. All right. Let's see how these things are going to work out. All right. So that's the ones we had. That's the ones that are going in. Okay. You want to see how much push rods cost? Don't forget the shipping, but yeah, buddy. But you get a free t-shirt. Let's put these things in here and get this thing going. So, real quick, check this out. So, this is a gram scale, right? We use this to check the weight on the clutches and stuff. So you're thinking, well, what's the difference between this push rod and this push rod? Because they're the same thickness. So let's see, right? Zeroed it out. Let's see if I can keep this on here without rolling off. $64.3. And this one, 84. So yes, same thickness. I mean, outside, same diameter outside. Much heavier wall, much heavier duty. All right. And then it's got a tool steel tip on it. All right. It's a three-piece design. I mean, so are these. These are also three-piece design. If you look real close, you could see the tip on them. Let's see if I can focus in on that. But anyway, tool steel on the top goes to the rocker. All right, let's go. All right, so got the push rods. Heads are torqued down. All that's all done, nice and clean. We're on top dead center, so we're gonna work with number one, and then put all the rockers in. Put the shafts in place. Put all the push rods in, but we're gonna do them two at a time. So you gotta do them when they're down. Okay, so it's on number one. We're gonna be able to do 1, 3, 8, and 6. Okay, and then we'll turn the motor until the other ones go down flat, and then put the other ones in. When they're all in, then the motor can turn over without messing anything up. The valves will all open up the way they're supposed to, and then we'll go back and readjust everything. Set the lash. All right, so we got all the rockers all in place. They're all snug, right? So now everything will rotate. If you try rotating them, like if you try putting them all in at one time and try tightening them down, you can't do that. You'll break stuff. So one at a time when they're on the bottom, one at a time when they're on the bottom on the heel of the lobe, you put them all on. Now I got to go back and I got to torque down all those bolts, and then I'm going to crack all the adjusters loose because they all have, all have that play in them now, right? And then I'll do my lash. Okay, so I'm just going to go back and torque all these down. All right, 21. You already did those, so 21. Go right down the line, tighten all those up. Make sure I get them all. So this is the rocker shaft to the base. Okay. And that's the one that was not all the way down. Alright, go back to this one. So this uses a Torx 45 socket. All right. Go back over them again, make sure. All right, that's with a little bit of oil on the threads. Got that off. That's all set. Everything's back over here. Bring it back on number 1. Oh yeah, we got compression now, buddy. All right. I'm gonna go right there for number 1. And then I'm gonna go through this and start all over. All right, now I'm gonna do the lash on each one. So they should all have that little bit of play in them, the ones that are up. Okay, these definitely do. So I'm going to check all the lash on them, go through the lash, tighten everything down. I'm going to drop the distributor in after that when I bring it back up to number 1 again. And then we can put the intake manifold on and get this thing going. All right, I got them all done. I'm going to show you the last one real quick. So this is how you go about it. Rotate the engine, right? And you're looking for, I gotta go all the way around because I'm gonna start all over. But what you're looking for is, they're both on the heel right now, right? They're both down on the heel. You rotate the engine till the exhaust just starts to open. You rotate it till just like that. When the exhaust just starts opening, you adjust your intake. So in this case we're doing 14. So you just get it to where it's snug. Right? Not super tight, but tight, okay? Because this is cold anyway. And then just tighten this up. Make sure it don't move. Lock it in place. Right? And it's nice and tight. Okay? You got to kind of stick it in there to get it in there. That's how I want it in there, like that. Okay? Doing them all the same. That one's done. Now you rotate the engine. Alright, the exhaust came all the way up. Now the intake's going to come all the way up. When the intake comes all the way to the top and starts to go back down, then you do the exhaust. Okay? Samey, samey. Check that. Get it to where it's going to be snug. Like so. And make that nice and snug. Just like that. Make sure they're all locked. That's it, okay? Now, I put a little dab of that Molly Lube crap mixed with oil on the cup. Okay, so that's all in. That's all in. I'm going to pour some of that oil all over all this stuff. Once I put the, I'm going to put the intake on. I'm going to pour some oil in here. I'm going to set the distributor. So the distributor, same thing. Bring everything around. Bring it on a compression stroke. Like that. Number one. Okay. Number one. I already got it marked where it's got to go. I'm going to put the distributor back in it. And we'll put the pour some oil in here, put the intake on it. So you want to load up the first wearing parts, right? So make sure you got stuff in there. I can actually do this afterwards, so I just want to make sure I got enough in here. That's it for now. All right. Put some down in the hole for the gear. Put the distributor in it. Distributor I marked it where how it goes. And I also marked this how it goes. So it should just drop right in. Gotta catch the oil pump shaft is what gets caught. So you gotta make sure that gets caught. There it goes. Like that. Okay? Line up the dots, and that's good to go. All right, I'll get this intake gasket on it, put the intake on it. All right, all that's done. Got oil in all the tips. So I put oil in all them holes at the top of the push rod also. So make sure the valve cover area is all dry, clean. I'll put them on right now. The valve covers are going to go on next. Actually, I'm going to put the intake on next, sorry. And then I'll do the valve covers. So, same thing, make sure all this area is dry and clean. I'm getting oil on it from everything. Can't be too clean. Once these flanges and all this is all dry, like it's clean and dry, the gaskets will seal nice. Push rods all worked out good. Again, shout out to Manton. We'll definitely be using them on the big motor. Those probably going to get 1/2 inch size push rods from what I'm gathering. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. All right, I'm going to glue the intake gaskets on. All right, so the intake gaskets, we use that part number 126.2, so 1262Rs. That's what the heads are ported to. And the only thing I'm missing now are the end rails. I got to go pick up a stock set of gaskets to put end rails on it. So I'm going to run out and do that real quick and then grab my coffee. All right, so we got that. What we're going to do is we're going to check the intake. We're going to take the gaskets from the intake, right? We're going to mount them on here. We're going to put a little mark. So with a Sharpie mark on the head and a Sharpie mark on the intake, once the intake gasket is on there, so that we know it's centered, because it's hard to see. I'm going to look with a mirror, but it's hard to see inside the plenum. If it was a carburetor, you just look down in there and center it nice. So I'm going to glue these on. Same thing, I'm going to use that little bit of that black stuff just to glue it and make it stay stuck in one spot so it doesn't move around on it. But before that, I'm going to put it on there, facing up, center it on there. Same thing, make a little Sharpie mark so I know that's where it goes there. So when I put the intake on, it's going to match my little mark on the head. All right, so put a little bit of that on there. That's going to go on there. Make sure that sits nice and flush. And then I have my little black mark right on there and right on there. And that is going to match this. Will all be nice, set up nice and clean. That'll tack up nice. And then I got these marks on here, so when I put it on, it's got to line up with that. Okay, so that's nice and dry. That'll dry up. Let me do the other side, and then I'll show you when I'm putting it on. All right, so those are on. Nice match. Everything matches nice. Make sure the floors are nice in the right spot. All right, same thing with this side. And then you get a stock setup, right? And all you need is the little end rails for the 302. And then the 351, probably use on the other motor later, right? All right, so gasket, a little bit of silicone. This way that'll seal the ends off. There's a little slot where it sits in there. All right, that's gonna stay like that. And then you just put that little bit of silicone that's on there. Swipe it onto the inside so we don't have any leaks. Do the same thing with the back. Done, done. And we're gonna put the manifold on. All right, so all the bolts for the intake manifold are ready to go. This gonna sit in here, and we're just gonna make sure it's gotta go under the distributor. Make sure those holes line up. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. That's it. I'll look in there real good, make sure. Telephone light. Okay. Make sure that's lined up. Yes, sir. Yep. Okay. Lines up pretty good. Get all the bolts, lay all the bolts down, start tightening that up. All right, that's on. One more thing I gotta do. So I didn't show you, but this used to have a an air intake, right? Idle control valve. I took that off. We don't need that, so that's not going on there. And the other thing I'm not using is a what do you call it? So we're not using water, so I'm going to take those two fittings off because there's no use having them, carrying them around for nothing. The front ones are open anyway, so.
Tightening down the intake.
Yeah, so because we use the end rails, right? See how nice they're, nice and tight. You don't got no leaks like that. But you got to torque it down or tighten it down actually in like really slow increments so it squishes it. Because right now you'll feel like it's tight, right?
But then you'll go back.
You'll go back in a little while after it settles and like that. This was tight before. So you just got to make sure.
Let it sit and then.
Like same thing with this. These are good. Okay.
Because it's a cork, so it's gonna squish.
Let that sit for a minute. I took those two fittings out of here. We don't need them things in here. Carrying them around weight. Plus, it'll give me a little extra room when we're doing the hoses and stuff, the lines.
Yeah, we ain't running no water.
All right, that's that. I'm gonna go back and do that one more time. The distributor's tight, distributor's lined up. This is good. I took the thing out of here.
Okay, yeah.
I made a nice plate this morning for that. Look at that.
Yeah.
I blocked it off.
Nice.
You know, it's not even plugged in. We don't use this all. Again,
No,
we don't need
no.
it. Ain't don't need it. These two fittings we leave on to suck the air out. And that's it. We're gonna try, I'm gonna just let this sit for a minute. I'm gonna do that one more time. And then let's put the other block in there real quick. Grab one of the heads,
Okay.
and then we'll see how that fits. I wanna see how much room we got, if any.
If any room.
All right? All right, so we're just doing a quick check because there's no way to really know if the 9.5 deck is gonna fit in here. So this is the world product block, right? We just got that laid up in here real quick. So we know that that's the same deck height as the other one. And then we're gonna move this stuff out of the way. Like so, this all goes back in there. We got the
Me
crazy-
and Johnny's at college
We
education.
got one boy's education right here. The other one's at the machine shop with the block. So you gotta be real careful with this next thing. This has hoops in it, so we gotta be real careful with it.
Okay.
We don't wanna mess them up. All right, so we're gonna try to put this head on there, and then if the head fits, then we're gonna go get the valve cover and see if the valve cover fits. Because the worst scenario, I think at this point, is gonna be we might have to move the brake master cylinder and the clutch master cylinder. So we ain't doing that now. That's in the future. Beautiful. Now these are a work of art. Look at, I should have shown the difference how big these are compared to look at the size of these things.
How big them.
Holy crap. Look at the exhaust port. And look at the intake port. Oh yeah, I can show you the intake port. Check it out, watch. So this.
Those are the gas.
Yeah, but I don't want.
Which ones are you using?
I already put them on. These are new. I bought 2 sets. But these are the same. Right? These are the big ones. So, all right, well, they're a little bit smaller. These are stock. They're probably twice as big as stock. Unbelievable. Beautiful. All right, anyway, let's go see if it fits.
Put that
Well,
on.
that ain't working.
Yeah, no fit. Too big.
Okay, so the problem is...
And then the valve cover's not on.
Right. Okay, so the problem is... Actually, wait a minute.
It's gotta go.
Oh, no, it's on. Okay.
All right.
I thought the bolt was in the way.
Don't move. Yeah, but the valve cover ain't
The
fitting.
valve cover ain't fitting in there.
Good grief.
Dang, that thing big! Okay, here we go. All right.
Hold it. Hold it.
All right, so what else we need to make? All right, so headers, no problem.
And then the valve cover sits like another.
Header's gonna come up and over, up and over, up and over, no problem. All right, so yeah, you ain't getting the valve cover on and off, that's for sure. The rockers ain't even on there. All right, so like I said, this and this gets moved, right? And then we end up putting this on the floor with the master cylinders on the floor.
Well, yeah. None of that's gonna be there.
Hello, Tim McCanus. Remember
Yeah.
those ones I just saw?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Put them on there,
The
and then you
nice
can
one.
drive the car, because then those
Yeah,
are
you can
adjustable.
move them. Yeah, like the junior dragsters.
All right.
You can adjust the pedals and everything.
That's the future of VXM right there. Oh,
But it definitely ain't fitting right now.
that's a big boy. And then the intake manifold is like that. We'll show you that when we go pick it up, hopefully next week. All right, it's a wrap. We're gonna take that back out, put everything back in the box, go put that back next to my bed. You know, this is like, I wonder why my back hurts. Maybe because I'm sleeping on this thing.
Yeah, it could be.
All right, go back to putting the little motor back in it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take we got it hooked to the cherry picker. We're gonna take that off. I gotta put the 3 plugs, the oil plugs in the back, the rear main seal in it. And in she goes. So here we go. Have fun. All right, so engine's in place. I just got done with the clutch. All right. I scuffed it all back down, ground it all back up, cleaned it up. I put like 5 turns on the base, and I put as many as I could fit on there. So an extra 7.5 on each one times 6. If that don't hold it, I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but that should hold it on the dyno without slipping the clutch. That should just lock right up. So just continuing on. I got all these, I got the front's on there, intake's done. So the clutch is done. I'm putting the starter back on, the bell housing, pretty much buttoning up everything underneath. Torque limiters. I dropped the frickin' washer. I don't know where it went, and I gotta call everybody in here and do like a search and seizure here. Search and rescue. All right, so I gotta find that washer. It's not a regular washer. I would have just got another one. It's a spherical rod end washer. Goes on. There's one in there now. I need the one for the other side. Then I can put that in. Then I can put the diaper on, and then keep moving. So right now I'm just buttoning up the clutch. I'm just gonna check the depth. It needs to be 702. If it's not right, I gotta adjust that real quick, but this is in. That's all good. That's all good to go. Now that goes right in. Clutch like that. Then I can put the bell housing on, put the transmission in it, and dry shaft, and that's it. Almost ready to go back, getting it running. Goes on the outside. All right, so we're
Got the starter on, putting the diaper on.
Is this straight? That diaper thing straight on that thing? Okay, good. We're
Keep...
getting there. We're getting there. Gonna put this ground strap on.
I'm gonna have it ready in no time.
Well, put this strap on here. Starter's on. Everything underneath is done. Tranny's done. Shifter. All that
Drive shaft's hooked up.
Huh?
Drive shaft's hooked
Drive
up.
shaft, seat belts, parachute.
That's like a 5. That's a 5/8. You can use. It's on the swivel.
One thing you got to make sure on these motors with these with the Holly stuff, you got to make sure you got grounds and everything.
Good ground.
Good ground. They want you to ground each cylinder head. There's a wire for the coils for each head.
That's what this.
And that's what that's for.
That little wire in there, and then there's one. It's taped to it.
You gotta fish it back
That
out.
one, same thing.
This stupid thing, probably don't even need it, but why not?
What?
The
Another ground?
No, this is for the, not the ground. The ground is important. The actual, this bracket that goes forward. So it's a forward, what the heck, I called it before. What the heck is it? It's like a lateral torque.
Yeah.
For when you, but this is like old school. I don't, honestly, with this tranny, I don't think I even need this. But like
It's
the
okay.
old ones,
It's on.
dude, the other one, the old transmission where you're stepping on the clutch, you got all that pressure on the thing. You're pushing the motor back and forth with that kind. But
It's alright,
I don't
nothing
think-
moves on this car.
No, nothing. Okay. That, and the next thing we put on is the headers. And we could put the spark plugs back in it, and then put the blower on the front. And hook up all the,
Put the injectors in it. And we'll plug all this stuff in up top.
it'll be running tomorrow.
I can't wait to hear it.
Maybe we'll go live when we start it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be a good
I gotta
idea.
figure out how to do that.
You know how to do
There's
it.
a live,
Yeah, you
well,
go live, yeah.
when you guys see this video, I'm gonna send out a clip, a live one, so.
We'll give you like a heads up, like a
Well, yeah, we'll give
like
you
a 30,
no,
like a half
I'll-
hour or something
Yeah.
when we're ready to,
Post it. It'll post. You could post something and tell people, to tell you that you're going live.
like when
Okay,
we're gonna go
alright, well,
live.
Figure somewhere. What are you guys doing tomorrow? You busy? You guys
I
doing
don't
something
know. Tomorrow afternoon
Probably
or
tomorrow
something.
afternoon by the time we get to it. So let's say 3 o'clock.
And then it'll be part of the video anyway. So whoever
3
wants to
o'clock-
watch it
3
live,
o'clock Eastern.
but if not, it will
try
be on a
that.
video.
We'll try it for 3 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
What date?
Tomorrow.
Fireworks go off at 3 o'clock.
Tomorrow. What's tomorrow's date?
Tomorrow is the 1st.
31st.
31st?
Yeah, so
Yeah, 31st tomorrow.
so tomorrow the 31st. This is done.
All right, let me
We need a
cut
5/8
this
for
off
that.
here.
All right. We're getting there.
We'll get some more stuff on.
Lunch, dinner.
Lunch, dinner.
What time is it? It's like
It's,
8 o'clock.
it's getting dark.
Yeah. Okay, this.
It looks early, but it's 8 o'clock.
All right. Diapers on. All the grounds are on. It's dinner time. So tomorrow morning we'll put the headers on, put the plugs in it, get all the headers set up, put the blower on the front, the drive, and then plug all the wires in, hook up all the fuel lines, gas tank, all that stuff. We should be live tomorrow. We're going to try to get this fired up. So 5 o'clock Eastern, May 31st. I'm putting this video out hopefully early enough tonight where you guys will see it. And the rest of the car, the rest of the stuff, I'm going to put it on. You'll see a video of the stuff getting put on probably after it gets fired off. All right? Check it out tomorrow. All right. VXM getting ready to fire it off. Got the motor all back together. May 31st, tomorrow, May 31st, 5 o'clock. We're going to fire it off live.
Eastern time.
Eastern, 5 o'clock Eastern.